Hi, good evening, folks. In this video, historically speaking, 7 teams have won 3 cups or more since the Sabres have had a franchise in the NHL. Let's look at these teams and compare their wins and losses compared to the Sabres over that time. Coming up. Okay, let's get into this. I want to save time. We're going to go right into the 1970s. And in the 70s, there were 6 teams in this decade. And then, of course, it expands a little later with teams that were more successful than us, of course, playoff speaking. So let's start with this. And the inspiration for this video was now, folks, we're number 22 in futility. We move up to number 18 if we lose next game. That's another story. So let's forget about that for now. Okay, let's go look at the top 6 teams of the 1970s. Of this 8 teams that I got, okay? I got 7 teams besides the Sabres in this. The Habs come in number 1, 712 games played, 461 wins, 133 losses. Is that insane or what? 118 ties, 1,040 points. Their winning percentage, .730 for the decade. The Blackhawks come in next, 712 games played, 334 wins, 251 losses, 127 ties, for a point total of 795, which gives them a .558 winning percentage. Then in come the Sabres third at 712 games played, 332 wins, 251 losses, 129 ties, 793 in points, painfully 2 points out of second, .557 winning percentage for the decade. Then come the Islanders, 556 games played because they came in, folks, 1972-73, don't forget. 252 games played, 252 wins, 200 losses, 104 ties, 608 points, .547 winning percentage. Then come the Penguins, 712 games played, 274 wins, 315 losses, 123 ties, 671 points for a .471 winning percentage. Then comes in Detroit, 712 games played, 241 wins, 367 losses, 104 ties, 586 points for a .412 winning percentage for that decade. So that's decade number 1. I'm going to try and move as quick as possible on this because I want to get to the final part of this. I want to try and get this video in about 12-15 minutes, so I'm going to try my best. All right, the 1980s now. We've covered the 70s, the first decade of our history. The 80s, there's 8 teams now, okay? Now we have the Oilers and we got the Devils, okay? Plus these 6. That's it for the 8 teams. Bruins fans, sorry, no, Boston won the cup before we came in, 69-70. So this is just since the Sabres have laced up their skates and played their first game from that point on. I'll get something on the Bruins eventually. All right, so Oilers. Everybody's played 800 games, so let's save time there and just go right into it. 446 wins, 250 losses, 104 ties, 996 points. Notice how the 1,000 points is kind of the magical number for an awesome team, right? They came damn close. The Habs were second, 435 wins, 252 losses, 113 ties, 983 points. The Oilers, respectively, I forgot, 623 winning percentage, the Habs 614. In come number 3, the Islanders, 414 wins, 288 losses, 98 ties, 926 points for a .579 winning percentage. And in come the Sabres at number 4, 389 wins, 293 losses, 118 ties, 896 points for a .560 winning percentage over the decade. Then come 5th, the Blackhawks, come in at 335 wins, 350 losses, 115 ties, 785 points for a .491 winning percentage. The Penguins are next, 289 wins, 416 losses, 95 ties, 673 points for a .421 winning percentage. And yes, half that decade they had Mario. And their winning percentage, folks, was .421. Think about it. Before we write off our team. Look at how the Penguins suffered their first 6-7 years with Mario. They did. They didn't have much playoff success till 91. All right, the Red Wings, moving on. They are number 7. They are 271 wins, 415 losses, 114 ties, 656 points for a winning percentage of .410. And then come the Devils, Now, the Devils, I didn't count the Kansas City Scouts or the Colorado Rockies. I wanted to be fair with the Devils since they've been in New Jersey, okay? So if I would have done the Devils, it just would have destroyed their winning percentage. So it's like, it wouldn't be fair. 560 games, 178 points, 178 wins, 324 losses, 58 ties, 414 points for a 370 winning percentage. I believe that's the lowest on the board. Now, we are in the 90s now, okay? Starts to get interesting here, guys. It all starts to add up eventually. Now the Red Wings are number one in the decade with 784 games played. It was like the shortened season and whatever. You guys know about it. All right, so 418 games. 418 wins. Say, I need coffee. Man, I was up till 4 in the morning with this damn thing. 264 losses, 102 ties, 938 points for a 598 winning percentage. Number 2 comes in Pittsburgh. 406 wins, 288 losses, 90 ties, 902 points, 575 winning percentage. The Devils now, number 3. 393 wins, 281 losses, 110 ties, 896 points, 571 winning percentage. Chicago. Yes, I know I got Blackhawks 2 words. I'm old school. That's it. 369 wins, 308 losses, 107 ties, 845 points for a 539 winning percentage. Montreal comes under them because they had 1 less win. Same exact points, same exact games, everything. 368, 307, 109. 2 ties, and they were 1 win, 1 loss, so Chicago get the nod. 845 points again like Chicago, and again like Chicago, 539. And in come the Sabres at number 6. They were 356 wins, 310 losses, 118 ties, 830 points for a 529 winning percentage for the decade. Then come the Oilers, 313 wins, 376 losses, 95 ties, 721 points for a 460 winning percentage. And then the Islanders dead last at 8th, 286 wins, 399 losses, 99 ties, a 671 points for a 428 winning percentage for the decade. So those are the first 3 decades covered. Let's finish it up. If I get this done in under 15 minutes, I'll be thrilled. I really will be. So I'm going to try my best, guys. And not by rushing it either. I want to talk a bit also, All right, let me get over here. All right, the 2000s to 2009, okay? 9 seasons. Don't forget we had the lockout. All right. Where are we? Detroit, number 1 for the decade. 738 games for everybody. Detroit, 457 wins, 177 losses. What a decade. 104 ties, overtimes, okay, are combined in this decade, ties and overtimes. 1,018 points, a 690 winning percentage. The Devils are number 2 with 415 wins, 223 losses, 100 ties, and the third column, ties, overtimes, and 930 points for a 630 winning percentage. Then come the Sabres, number 3. Very good decade. 365 wins, 277 losses, 96 overtimes, 826 points for 560 winning percentage. The Oilers come in next, 333 wins, 278 losses, 127 overtimes, 793 points, 537. Their winning percentage, and yes, I count it as winning percentage. Okay, I know people call it points percentage now. I call it winning percentage because we're basing the points off wins. Come on. All right, the Habs are next. 342 wins, 290 losses, 106 overtimes, 790 points for a 535 winning percentage. Then the Penguins. Surprisingly, you would think they'd be higher, but no. The Penguins are next. 318 wins, 316 losses, 104 overtimes, 740 points, a 501 winning percentage. That was it for the Penguins at the time. If you look at the Penguins' history, folks, you're going to see too, man, if they didn't get Mario and Crosby when they did, they would have took a nosedive right in the league forever. They've been a lucky franchise too. All right, next is the Blackhawks. 296 wins, 323 losses, 119 overtimes, 711 points over that span, a .482 winning percentage. And the Islanders, 297 wins, 346 losses, 95 overtimes. I'm just going to call them overtimes there the rest of the way. 689 points for a .467 winning percentage. Okay? Now, we're going to go into the last decade, and then I'm going to explain why I did all this at the end, because it's going to make a little sense. The decade, 2010 to 2019. No, I didn't count last year's COVID year or this year, okay? It's a different decade. And the decades start at the end. So let's say 1999, 2000 is the first I put of the decade, because it hits 2000 when the playoffs hit and when this is official, okay? So 2010 to 2019, the Penguins were, everybody, 786 games, okay? 10 seasons. Here we go. 466 wins, 243 losses, 77 overtimes, 1,009 points. What a fantastic decade. My God. 667 winning percentage. I think there's only 3 or 4 that got 1,000 over the decades on here. Anyway, that's not why I'm doing this. Chicago, next. 437 wins, 255 losses, 94 overtimes, 968 points for a .616 winning percentage. Yes, the Penguins had a better winning percentage over the decade than the Blackhawks did, even though the Hawks, I'll show you in a sec why I want to go over all this. Okay, the Habs, 397 wins. The Habs again, high again. 296 losses, 93 overtimes, 887 points, a .564 winning percentage. Detroit's next, 381 wins, 291 losses, 114 points, 876 points, .557 is the winning percentage there. And the bottom 4, the Islanders, 372 in wins, 314 in losses, 100 in overtimes, 100 even, 844 points, a .537 winning percentage. The Devils are next, 361 wins, 324 losses, 101 overtimes, 823 points for a .524 winning percentage. Then the Sabres come in 7th. You'll notice they're very low. Well, there was a thing we did for a few years called a tank, folks. Didn't help this. 318 wins, 368 losses. Not bad for a decade where we're trying to lose for 2 years, eh? 100 overtimes, 736 points, a .468 winning percentage. And the Oilers, yes, we're under us, even though we tanked. The Oilers had a worse decade than us. 305 wins, 389 losses, 92 overtimes, 702 points, for a .447 winning percentage. Now, let me just back up. I want to show you something here, what I've done, which I forgot to mention. We'll go right back to there in 10 seconds. In this decade, the Habs won 6 cups. Okay? In the 80s, the Oilers won 4, the Habs won 1, the Islanders won 4. Yes, I put the cups there on the side. It's important, of course. It's what this is all about. It's the reason I did this. In the 90s, Detroit won 2, the Penguins won 2, the Devils won 1, the Habs won 1, the Oilers won 1. You might remember the 89-90 counts as the 90. All right. And over here, the Red Wings in the 2000 to 2009, the 2000s decade, the Red Wings won 2, the Devils won 2, and the Penguins won 1. And then 2010 to 2019, the Penguins won 2 cups and the Blackhawks won 3. So the final number there for that is the cups. In these, this is 48 seasons I covered, okay? The Habs come in number 1 with 8 cups. Number 2 are Pittsburgh with 5. And I put Pittsburgh number 2 in front of Edmonton because they did it in 2 different eras. You know what I mean? With 2 different teams. That was more of an accomplishment. It was. Not that 5 cups isn't awesome, don't get me wrong, but it's just pretty awesome that the Penguins were able to do it in 2 different times, So the Penguins number 2, then the Oilers also have 5 cups. The Islanders have 4. They get the nod over Detroit because it was a 4-year dynasty. Detroit had 4 cups in their era. Then you got the Devils who had 3. And the reason I gave the Devil, what was the reason I put the Devils? There was a reason they went in front of Chicago. Not that that was a better team than Chicago, but there was a reason. I think it was just historically speaking. I put it up there. And Chicago 3. Easily we could put Chicago number 6. But anyway, it's not, this isn't standings. This is just 8, 5, 5, 4, 4, 3, 3. And of course the Sabres have nothing, which is why I'm doing this video. Now, all right, this is it. This is the close right here. I want to show you guys something because it's important. It is. I like facts and I like proof. We're going to work our way up. Who had the best winning percentages over these 5 decades, these 48 seasons? Who had the top winning percentage of all? Let's see, okay? Coming in at number 8 with 511. Whoop. I always do that when I'm filming. God. Okay. Number 8, the New York Islanders come in at 511 winning percentage. Number 7. This might surprise people. The Edmonton Oilers, with their 5 Stanley Cups, come in 7th in winning percentage in history with these 8 teams since we've been in the league. Number 6. With a 523 winning percentage over all that time, the Pittsburgh Penguins come in number 6. Number 5. With a 533 winning percentage, the Detroit Red Wings come in number 5. Number 4. The New Jersey Devils come in number 4. I put an asterisk because 534, but the Devils, folks, if I would have counted Kansas City and Colorado, historically speaking, they would have probably been down here last. I mean, those teams were awful for a long time. You know, they would have been under 500 for sure. So I wanted to be fair to the Devils since they've been a team in New Jersey. But the asterisk hits them. Number 3. How about that, folks? The Buffalo Sabres come in number 3 in winning percentage of all these Stanley Cups and teams. And my God, are we ever going to get a cup? God. Sabres come in at number 3, 534 winning percentage. At 537 winning percentage, this surprised me. I would have thought we'd finish in front of them, but I would have thought we'd finish lower than 3rd, to be honest, when I started this project. Chicago Blackhawks, number 2, 537. Yeah. You know, I mean, if we didn't have the tank years, of course, the Sabres probably, but so what? It is what it is. It's history. This is where we belong, is, you know, number 3. And number 1, of course, because they destroyed everybody so badly in the 70s. I mean, that covered like 3 decades of wins, are the Habs. So there you go. For those folks out there that like to say the Sabres just have lost in their entire history and they never were good or whatever, you know. This is just something Sabres fans need to know too, because these other 7 teams that I compared the Sabres to historically over these decades all won 3 cups or more. Hey, hats off to the Flyers. I'm sure, I can guarantee they had a better winning percentage than Buffalo. And Boston, I'd have to check. I don't know. Probably. I'd have to check. I didn't check. I was tired. I was up all night with this. You guys are killing me. But isn't that interesting? You know, all these teams won at least 3 Stanley Cups before we got 1 in all this time, but we rank 3rd in winning percentage. The luck of being a Sabres fan, folks. Okay, on that note, I'm going to stop it there. And I'm gonna get this uploaded, and hopefully I got this in under 50 minutes. I got no clue how long it's taken, but I wanted to go over all of this and be as clear as possible. And I will keep us posted on the ever interesting climb to futility as we keep going up the ladder. All right, folks, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this, and I'll talk to you soon.